Hi, today I want to talk about job permits for international students. I was an international student too, once. Now I'm under a job permit. And a lot of students who are graduating from a STEM field, or well, from any field, but this is mostly focused on engineering fields, STEM, don't know what to do or what they need to, what options do they have available for them. Now, when you're graduating from college, or from master's, whatever it is, usually the most common option is OPT, optional practical training. That's the first job permit that you can get as a STEM student. Usually you get that through your university. You should have your international section for information on how to apply. The way it works, after you graduate, you have 3 months. 3 months to get a job. In those 3 months, you need to be actively looking for a position that relates to your field. So I know it's scary, I know it's hard. What you need to be doing, you need to be looking for a job before you graduate. Like the year before graduation, start applying for internships, start applying for jobs. Start asking around, hey, can you hire me after work? Now, after you graduate, you don't necessarily have to have a full-time position. I mean, it's better if you do, or like the thing is, like, a lot of companies, they get scared. They think, oh no, I don't want to hire international because I have to sponsor them. And sponsoring is a different process that involves a lot of money and involves a lot of responsibility from the company, and they don't want to do it. So what you need to do is you need to get a position that relates to your field, any position. All right. Once you get that, you need a signature from them to give to your international section, and then you fill it out, and like you should be good to go. Now, sometimes 3 months sounds like very, very little time, and sometimes it is. So just get to it, try to do it before you graduate. If you're already in those 3 months, just ask your colleagues, ask your friends, ask your old professors. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a full-time position. It could be like a 30-hour position, 40-hour position, as long as they sign the OPT documentation at university acceptance. Now, after you get accepted into the OPT position, you have 18 months to be working with that company. If you for some reason lose your job at that company, you have 3 months to find another position. Now, what you can do, you just like try your best, whatever, try to keep that position. If you lose that position, try to find something as soon as possible. And this is one thing, always keep your options open. Even if you have your position secure, always try to have other companies that you know they will hire you. Because maybe like tomorrow, I don't know, your boss doesn't like have money anymore or whatever, or he gets a loss and he has to let you go. Always be prepared. Always have something on the back. Now, when your OPT is about to end for STEM fields, you have an option to extend your OPT for another 18 months. So you need to talk with your international section, and they will like the process is very similar to the first OPT position. Now the difference I think is like you have to be e-verified or something like I don't know, but it's a pretty similar thing as when you got the OPT. You can apply in another job and have them sign the extension. It doesn't have to see the same position. In between, you cannot be without a job for 3 months. All right. Now, the problem is after these 18 months have ended. Like this is when it gets rough. Like if you are an international, like you need to be sponsored by an H1N1 position, and that is very hard to do. There's only a very limited amount of H1N1 visas that companies around the world give for STEM students. Now, what a lot of friends did, they become high school teachers. Why? High school, they sponsor a lot of people. Why? Because they need the STEM fields to teach high school classes. Like they always need math teachers, they always need physics teachers, early college, stuff like that. They need people to guide them. So that's an option if you have no idea. And usually what you need to do, you need to pass a test. You need to pass a course, I think like a 3-month course, and then you get your teacher certification, and then you get sponsored by the company. If you cannot do that, like you have to go back. Again, like try to be looking for a company that will provide you an H1N1 before you go into your second or even first OPT extension, or be looking for something while you're in there, because time is very important. You don't have time to do this. Now, if you are from Canada or from Mexico, you have a second option instead of getting the H1N1. You have the NAFTA TN visa. That is a visa that not a lot of people know. But the way it works, you apply for it, you need a letter from your employer, and you apply in your consulate or whatever, and they renew it for 1 year. And you can be doing this for a couple of years. I don't know what's the time limit, but you will eventually need an H1N1 as well. Now, for the TN visa, a lot of companies, they don't know about it, so you will need to like explain it to them in very simple terms. And the way I do this stuff is I just tell them it's not a sponsorship, because as soon as a company thinks that they have to sponsor you, they don't want to do it. Almost no company wants to sponsor internationals, because it requires a lot of like time and investment. I don't really know why, because I have read about everything about it, and it doesn't seem too complex, but whatever, that's not the point. So you have to make clear that it's not a sponsorship position. The TN, that's the name of the visa. TN visa, NAFTA visa, TN1, something like that, for Canadian and Mexican, something like that, internationals. So what you can even do, you can just apply for a position, and just when they ask you, do you need to be sponsored, just say no, I don't need to be sponsored. And if they ask you, just tell them why. Like for example, like for me, they ask me like, are you international? Yes, but I don't need a sponsorship because I'm under this permit. So that's what I say all the time whenever and they're like, oh, okay, I don't need to sponsor you. Okay, let's talk about it a little bit more. So that's how you should approach this. I hope this helps. It's very hard for internationals to get a stable position here in the US, even to think about their future. But I mean, you just need to push forward. Like, you already did your bachelor's in a foreign country. You already learned another language that wasn't your own. You graduated from a really hard degree. So just keep pushing forward and never give up. Never give up. Okay? Good luck in your job search.